You're a genius, a prodigy, the kind of kid whose brain operates on the same frequency as God's worst joke. You wake up every morning surrounded by blueprints, equations, and the quiet hum of superiority. The world sees you as a miracle, the boy who can solve anything except loneliness. Because the truth is, Jimmy Neutron isn't a story about brilliance. It's a story about a child so smart he outgrew happiness before puberty. Your mind races faster than your emotions can follow. Every invention is another desperate scream for connection, disguised as science. You build rockets to feel something. You build gadgets to fill the silence. You build, because destruction is the only thing that answers back. And yet, no matter how many times you save the world, no one really understands you. They just smile and call you the boy genius. You call it a curse in a lab coat. Because being Jimmy Neutron doesn't mean you're special. It means you're doomed to know exactly how broken everything really is. You were born with a brain that never shuts up. Every second it hums, clicks, calculates. While other kids chase butterflies, you're calculating their wing velocity. You don't live life, you analyze it. And that's the first sign of madness. Your teachers don't understand you. Your classmates tolerate you. And deep down, even you hate you. Because the smarter you get, the lonelier you become. Intelligence isn't a gift, Jimmy. It's a social death sentence with extra homework. You see patterns where there should be peace. You see equations where there should be emotions. You can reverse engineer gravity, but you can't decode a smile. And when you do talk to people, you sound like a malfunctioning encyclopedia begging for attention. But the worst part? You can never stop. Your brain is addicted to solving things, even the things that aren't broken. You can't enjoy a sunset because you're busy calculating the wavelength of light. You can't sleep because your mind won't let you. So you invent and invent and invent. Not because the world needs saving, but because silence terrifies you. Every invention is just another way to drown out the unbearable noise of your own thoughts. At home, your brilliance means nothing. Because how can it when your mom treats nuclear accidents like spilled milk? She's calm, smiling, holding a pie, while the toaster casually emits gamma radiation behind her. And your dad? The philosopher of ducks. A man so detached from reality, he could stare at a slice of toast for 30 minutes and call it enlightenment. You could tell him the fabric of space-time is collapsing in the garage, and he'd just nod and say, "Neat, son." Ever wonder why they call it a toaster if it burns bread? You live in a household where logic goes to die. Your inventions explode, the dog talks, and somehow you're the problem. You're building quantum reactors while your dad argues with the lawnmower. You're solving interdimensional travel while your mom says, "Jimmy, dinner's getting cold." It's chaos. Pure suburban chaos. And the cruelest part? They love you, unconditionally. They just don't understand the creature they raised. You built a brain to change the world. But you're stuck explaining to your parents why the blender is now sentient. Welcome home, Jimmy, where being a genius still makes you the weirdest person at the dinner table. For a genius, you have the dumbest friends alive. Sheen, a caffeine-fueled maniac who worships a cartoon superhero like a religion. Carl, a human allergy test in the shape of a boy. And you, the ringmaster of this circus of brain cells on fire. Every day with them is a social experiment gone wrong. You invent a time machine. They use it to steal candy. You build a shrink ray. They nearly vaporize a llama. You save the planet. They ask if they can keep the alien as a pet. But you need them, don't you? They're chaos. They're noise. They remind you you're still human, or at least pretending to be. Without them, you drown in your own intelligence. With them, you're just drowning in stupidity. You could build a new best friend from spare parts and circuits, but even your robot dog Goddard pretends to shut down when Sheen starts talking. It's tragic, really. You crave connection, but the universe paired you with two beings who think quantum mechanics is a boy band. Still, they're all you have, and that's the saddest equation of all. You can bend time, defy gravity, and outsmart every scientist on Earth. But one blonde girl keeps breaking your brain. Cindy Vortex, the human embodiment of contradiction. She mocks you, insults you, challenges you, and you can't stop thinking about her. You've tried to analyze her like an equation, charted her moods, graphed her insults, tried to locate the variable called affection. But love isn't math, Jimmy. It's chaos with better hair. Every conversation with her feels like a lab test where you're the rat. She pushes, you react. She teases, you malfunction. And when she smiles, really smiles, your brain forgets how to process data. It's humiliating. You can build a functioning rocket from scrap metal, but you can't build a single honest sentence around her. You once thought emotional intelligence was just another science to master. But the truth hits you every time she walks away. You can't invent connection. You can't program love. You can build a machine that controls the universe. But you'll never figure out why Cindy Vortex makes you feel human. And that terrifies you more than any black hole ever could. You don't invent for fame. You invent because you have to. Because your brain treats stillness like death. Every new idea begins as a spark of brilliance and ends as a local disaster. Your inventions have leveled neighborhoods, summoned aliens, and nearly vaporized your own friends. But what do you do after each catastrophe? You smile, adjust your goggles, and say, "Oops." The world calls you a hero. You call it damage control. Every creation feels like an act of rebellion against boredom, a way to prove you can control the universe, even when you can't control yourself. But deep down, you know what's really happening. You're playing God with a child's moral compass. You've built life out of metal, chaos out of curiosity, and nightmares out of genius. And every time something goes wrong, you swear you'll stop. You never do, because destruction is just the consequence of caring too much or not enough. And in the quiet moments when the smoke clears and everyone's safe again, you realize something terrifying. You don't fear failure anymore. You fear what you'll do next when success gets boring. At some point, the experiments stop being fun. You've mapped the stars, built a robot empire, and hacked the laws of reality. And yet, nothing feels real anymore. Knowledge was supposed to make you free. Instead, it trapped you in a cage made of understanding. You see the gears behind everything, behind people, emotions, the universe itself. And once you see the machinery, it's impossible to believe in the magic. You look at your friends and wonder, how can they laugh so easily? How can they not see the absurdity of existence? You envy their ignorance. You hate it, but you envy it, because knowing too much doesn't make you powerful. It makes you aware of how meaningless everything really is. Every atom is decaying. Every star is dying. Every invention is temporary. Even your genius is just noise in an uncaring universe. And maybe that's the cruelest irony of all, that the smartest kid alive spends his nights staring at the ceiling, wishing he could unlearn everything. You built machines to explore infinity, but all you discovered was that the universe doesn't need you. Every story has an ending, except yours, because being Jimmy Neutron isn't about growth or peace or learning your lesson. It's about repetition. A cycle of creation and destruction, disaster and recovery like a cosmic joke told on loop. You wake up. You invent something brilliant. It explodes. You fix it. Everyone forgives you. You promise to stop. You never do. You've become your own worst experiment, testing the limits of what one child can break before breaking himself. The people around you, they'll never see the pattern. To them, you're a hero. To you, you're the only one who remembers how many times you've already been here. And maybe that's the cruelest part. You'll never truly fail, but you'll never truly change either. You're stuck in eternal genius purgatory, a sitcom scientist trapped in a loop of your own intelligence. But hey, at least you've got style. That hair, those goggles, that 1,000-yard stare of someone who's seen the quantum fabric of reality unravel during breakfast. So you keep going. Because that's what geniuses do. They endure. They adapt. They pretend it's fine. You'll smile for the crowd, wave at your friends, and go home to build something new. Something that might save the world or end it. Either way, it doesn't matter. Tomorrow, you'll reset the simulation. You are Jimmy Neutron, the smartest kid alive, and the dumbest soul to ever think knowledge could make him happy.